45 in Rapid City. Another day, another ride, another memory. So first destination for today is Mount Rushmore. From there we're going to the Crazy Horse, Needles Highway, State Custer Park or Custer State Park to do the wildlife loop. And yeah, and then most probably we'll end up in Black Hills, Harley Davidson to see the vendors and walk around. Enjoy the ride. You'll be surprised for finding all these different towns in the Black Hills, but they all have a way of their own, you know. They have a different setup, but I mean, you could come here. It's a must come, that's for sure. We're about 2 miles away from, here we go, that's the sign on the right, Mount Rushmore National Memorial. And just these roads you could spend in days and days and just going back and forth, and it will never get boring. Here you go, we can see Mount Rushmore from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess we'll try to park somewhere here on the right and take a picture, and then we'll ask if they want to go in or this would do. Yes.
Going up to the visitor center.
All right, go ahead.
What's that?
Go ahead. I'll follow you. So I guess they want to go in there to the visitor center. Mount Rushmore took around 14 years, completed in 1941, and it was made to resemble 150 years of the American history, and since then it's been under the National Park Services, and it's considered a historic site as well. And that's that about our history lesson. It's pretty impressive how they can do such a thing in this height without the technology that we have nowadays. So they were using dynamites and what have you, like different, basically the tools that they had at the time, and having to climb all that mountain manually. That's very impressive, you know. And where is it? You can see the side right there. Yep. And from here it's another nice ride going to the Crazy Horse. And once we go to the Crazy Horse, I'll do my quick Google search and cheat sheet and give you the history about that and how long it took to complete. So here the entry fee is $10. In Mount Rushmore, entry fee was $10, and if you're a senior over 62 you pay $5. And she was nice enough. I told her I feel 62 today, so she's like, I trust you, and she took $5. And they have a designated motorcycle parking right here. I really hope that we don't have to walk all the way there. Interesting piece of history about the Crazy Horse. Basically it started 74 years ago. So the work that was done in Mount Rushmore, it only took 14 years, but it started with 400 people, and since the beginning it was under the National Park Services. For this, it started with one person, and he had to build 700 plus steps or ladder just to get up there to put his first explosion. Now it's I believe their third generation from the same family working on this. They depend purely on the donations, and they said they're expecting another 20 or 30 years for it to be fully completed. And these are the helicopter tours, and you're too close. Yep, and now no more, what's it called, monuments or memorials. Now it's about the road. We're hitting Needles, it's called Needles Highway. It has many interesting, very small tunnels and passes that we have to go through. So it's more about the road than the monuments now. Through the gates, and now we're into the time of our life, Needles Highway. It's been highly spoken about that it's a must-do place in the Black Hills, South Dakota, and looking forward for that. So just where is our way? We are going straight. Yep. These roads close in the winter time. Just for anyone who wants to come through here, these are closed during the winter. This is one of the first tunnels that we're gonna meet across. And look at this. Basically, it's a one-lane tunnel. So people have to take turns getting through. And I believe one of the tunnels up front, it has a light, so it can adjust traffic. Approaching the Needles Eye Tunnel, and this is just breathtaking. Needles Eye Tunnel. It's a one-way tunnel, and you really have to watch out and take turns. How can they even fit cars in here? This is crazy. Ooh, sounds good. And then the rest of the way is just, I can't take this anymore. It's either look at the road or look at the scenery or just somehow take it all in. Just want to make sure the rest of the group made it through. Yep, they did. Yeah, I think, wasn't that fun, or wasn't it fun? So now this is another one-lane tunnel. We're approaching another one, and it seems they just opened it up for us for this side, and this is called the Iron Creek Tunnel. And we're getting closer and closer. Sweet. And you have to rev it here. That sound. trying to watch the road and taking in the scenery. It's just been difficult, and vlogging, and taking pictures, and it's just a lot of things happening. And now we're going to the Custer wildlife loop, and since we already have we paid over there, so then we shouldn't do anything on this side. We're good to go. But I don't know, should we wait or should we just drive through? Thank you. In the middle of the road, but I don't really see. Oh, that's something there. They called something dogs, prairie dogs, or I think they are prairie dogs. But you see, they're all over the place. There's one here, there, at the back. There's a place actually towards the entrance of the Badlands where you can stop and feed them. They're right there. Done with the loop. Unfortunately, no wild animals whatsoever. They had two centers where you could have seen the buffalo and the bison, but the way up there was gravel, so we decided to skip that. And now heading to Keystone for lunch, an overdue lunch. We are all starving. We still have like 15 miles to go, but yeah, I don't understand why there's no wildlife. A friend of mine just came back, or actually Bo, who was riding with us here on the Goldwing. He just came from Yellowstone 3 days past, and they said they just saw a couple of deer and maybe one elk. There's no bisons or whatsoever, or buffaloes. And from what I recall, like all the pictures you see for Yellowstone, you just see herds and herds of wild animals. I'm heading there in a couple of days, so let's see how that goes. I'm hoping that I get to see some wild animals and just get the experience.